Hello guys, my name is Soner. Today we're going to talk about Sony A7S III, why you should get this camera or why you shouldn't, so stay tuned for those. 2020 has been amazing for the camera world so far, and it was pleasing to follow as a consumer. First, Canon hit the market with EOS R5 and R6. Canon R5 is able to shoot 8K RAW, 4K 120 frames per second, which is insane. Canon R6 is also able to shoot 4K up to 60 frames per second. These features are already amazing for the Canon cameras, but there is a big overheating issue. Overheating has been a big question mark for those two cameras so far. Now Sony A7S III is finally here, which is here to confuse us more. Sony A7S III packed with insane specs. Sony A7S III has 12 megapixel sensor. I can hear some of you are saying my phone even have more megapixels, but actually 12 megapixel sensor is really amazing for video. For example, A7S III has same sensor size with the Canon R5, but pixel size are bigger on the A7S III, which improves its video features and low light capabilities. I think because of the 12 megapixel sensor, Sony A7S III is a low light beast. With A7S III we are able to shoot 4K up to 120 frames per second, Full HD up to 240 frames per second. And Sony A7S III has insanely good high dynamic range, and which is really interesting to see on A7S III. It feels like Sony has listened to consumers so far, because now we have the flip screen on A7S III. And Sony A7S III has completely new menu system, nearly same with the Panasonic cameras. I really liked how they have designed the dual card slots, guys. You're able to use CF Express Type A in both SD card slots, and also it takes normal SD cards in same slots, which is really handy in my opinion. I think they have done better job than, for example, Canon EOS R5. On Canon EOS R5 you're able to use CF Express and SD card, but for example you're not able to shoot same time to those cards. If you're shooting a wedding on Canon EOS R5, you're not able to record in same time to SD card and the CF Express in some video formats and codecs. I think it's a bummer for the Canon EOS R5, but with the Sony A7S III you're able to shoot same time to those cards. It can be CF Express card or a SD card. I think that's the way it should be, and the footage that you get from Sony A7S III is really pleasing to watch actually, and I think they have done better job with the colors and the skin tone on the A7S III. So these specs are amazing. I'm really pleased to see this kind of cameras in 2020 as a consumer. Leave a comment down below, guys, what you think about Sony A7S III. Should you go for it, or did you bought that already, or what do you think about the difference between Canon and the Sony camera so far? Now we have really good mirrorless bodies on the market, but which one to pick from? If you're a Canon shooter, you can go for Canon R5 or Canon R6 if you want a mirrorless body, but they come with a little bit, downsides. They have overheating issues. I think Canon made a marketing error with the R5, for example. They were marketing it for 8K beast, but I don't think that's the case here. There's lots of good reviews already about Canon R5, and you can check overheating issue on those videos. From what I see in the professional environment, I don't think Canon R5 is a workhorse. The overheating will be always a trouble, but if you're planning to use the Sony A7S III, for example, for video, there is no overheating or limiting issues, so for sure Canon A7S III will be perfect workhorse for the video. As I was saying in the beginning of the video, why you should get Sony A7S III? Well, we can easily say that Sony A7S III is one of the best mirrorless body right now on the market for the video. So if that's your case, I think you can easily pick up one of these. I think Sony A7S III is beast of a mirrorless body if you want to use it for video. But why you shouldn't get Sony A7S III? Sony A7S III is not a photography machine. If you already have a mirrorless body, for example Canon EOS R or Sony A7 III or maybe Panasonic GH5, I don't think you have to change your camera. Of course, if you want to shoot 4K 120 frames per second, that can be, tricky with those cameras. But of course, if you want to have that feature, you might need to change it. But if you don't need, for example, 4K 120 frames per second, if you're gonna shoot 4K 30 frames per second or 20 frames per second, I don't think you need to switch for this camera. You can instead spend that money on your lighting or your audio. Instead of investing on A7S III for those specs, you can get A7 III, aperture 120D with light dome, and also you can fix your audio gear, and also you can maybe get external monitor or a lens. If you don't have these equipments already, and if you are planning to change your camera just for that slow motion features, if you don't have good lighting or audio, I think it can be wise to spend that money to those gears. Because camera itself is not gonna change your end result. You're gonna need those lightnings and audio gear, and external monitor can be really, handy in many cases. But of course, if you already have those gears and if you're planning to change your camera body, I think Sony A7S III is really amazing camera body. You can go for it for sure. That's it for today, guys. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about the Sony A7S III? If you find this video helpful, please leave us a thumbs up. I hope I didn't confuse you more. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you didn't already, and see you guys in the next one.